So as a student of management, what I understand uh, when we are talking about we are living in a generation of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and internet, uh, you know, surrounding us in every aspect of life. So I would present my views on data science and artificial intelligence. The biggest discovery of this century was internet. In 1995, when internet came to India, no one imagined that it will bring the world to this level. 25 years ago, we had a world where there was dial-up lines, big machines, and steep tariffs which were there. But now today we see that more than 4.6 billion people use internet, billions of gigabytes are transferred on World Wide Web. There is borderless, globalized world. In the real sense, we have been able to implement that because of internet. With the emergence of social media networks like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the world has further changed. The social norms of the society are being reshaped. And during COVID-19 lockdown, we all realized the real benefit of internet and social media. We remained isolated, but we were still globally connected. It's all about data today. Everywhere we see that data is being generated. There are few platforms which have captured the whole of the internet traffic, including Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter. Facebook to Twitter journey, today it is taken as virtual public squares which have given voices to many people. Amazon, Flipkart, they have reinvented the retail industry. Tinder and other such apps have changed the dating world. Uber, Ola have redefined transportation in the world. Netflix, ordering food from Zomato and Swiggy, they have changed the definition of entertainment. Paytm, e-wallets, they have replaced the way we spend. Talking from the US elections, Bihar elections, we can see a lot of campaigns to fake news, ad campaigns being evaluated, stealing identities, talking innocence, trolling, fan following. World Wide Web is everywhere. It is affecting each one of us every day in many ways. And the public hygiene on this World Wide Web is deteriorating today. That is also a reality. We today talk about the data is the new oil. We have big corporate giants who are now the technology firms who have taken up the major market share throughout the world. The rapid growth of internet has created new categories of businesses and has disrupted entire sectors. It has created new way of entrepreneurship and innovation. We can see the kind of new companies which are coming up. The cost of establishing a business has become very low. And nowadays we use Google as a verb. We say that for anything we say, please Google it. So today, when we say that data is the new oil, that means anybody who's having data will have all the power of the world. So the power balance among governments across the world is going to shift from the ones who have the data, also will go to those who generate this data, and the ones who analyze this data. So if any government, any country or any company or any individual has to get the power, has to become the market leader, so it has to be within that data perspective. So either you are generating data, you have the data, or you're analyzing the data. So that's why we call the data is the new oil. Now the previous speakers who have talked about the big data analytics and machine learning and artificial intelligence, and as spoken by Professor Sanjay Sehgal. So my job is very easy, and I am going to skip a lot of content which has already been discussed to make sure that we finish on time. So basically just, big data analytics means data processing, where we have high volume of data, high velocity of data which is arriving at a very high speed, and high variety. That means the data is coming in from different sources in different formats. So big data analytics basically as a concept deals with 4 kinds of analytics: descriptive, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. There are various softwares and techniques, tools available nowadays where we can train our students on big data analytics, and these are like Hadoop, Qbol, Amazon EMR. So these are some popular ones. As a concept, as already discussed by Professor Shakti, artificial intelligence is the umbrella term. Machine learning, deep learning are a kind of subset, or have been derived from it, and he has already discussed in detail, so I move on further. When we talk about data science as a subject and analytics, so there are various softwares or key skills which we look at our trained manpower to be trained in. Python, R, SQL, big data, Hadoop, Java. So these are some of the deep learning, NLP. So these are some of the languages or software which data scientists of today need to be trained about. There are various machine learning softwares which are, I have noted down these. There are artificial intelligence software. So if a IT guy has to get themselves trained as an expert in artificial intelligence, so these are some of the popular softwares which are being used in this category. Now basically the whole, as a management student, what do I understand from all of these concepts is that internet is a medium of capturing data. We are capturing all the data coming from the internet. Then there are technologies available for data mining, like data mining, cloud computing, data science, which are there to process this data. So these technologies, softwares help us to process it. Then machine learning comes, deep learning comes, where we are able to use this data and understand this data at a deeper level and make the machine understand it. And further, artificial intelligence applications are after making the machines learn and they become intelligent. So it is artificially intelligence which has been created, which has wider applications in various fields nowadays. Already in detail, these things have been discussed, how AI is impacting our lives. And we can see that, from driving, we can see in future times will come that we are driving driverless cars. We are sitting in driverless cars. There are robots who are doing our household work. There is robo-advisory or V-bots who already have, we can see these robots talking to us. Siri and Amazon Echo and Google are there to help us out for various things. There are intelligent smart homes, intelligent lighting is there. Now all of these things together, what are these leading us to? All of this thing will make the whole world, we will be surrounded by technology and artificial intelligence so much that we will be lacking human touch. We will be lacking the humanity. Now let's first understand that how does India, if we look at what are the advantages do India has in this whole changing scenario where technology has grown up so much, tremendous. India, as we understand, is the fastest growing economy, and we have got a very big demographic advantage that we are the youngest population and majority of our population is very young. So it is the right time that we can train this young population to our advantage, and we can train them to meet to this new technological demand as well as the new skill set which is required. Another advantage which India has, that we are the largest data producer because we are the second most populated country. So the amount of data which is being generated by Indians on this social media, on various kind of platforms which we are using every day is tremendous. As well as the whole world is looking at India from as a largest consumer base. So as a largest consumer base where we are generating the maximum amount of data, so all of this data is being trained is being used to train these machines for machine learning as well as to make the machines more intelligent. So that ways, India has that advantage, as I told, as I was talking about who will have the power. The power will be the one who creates the data. So we are creating the largest amount of data. It's just that we have to be now leaders in disseminating that data or using that data for proper purposes. As well as we have to train our manpower or our youth in a direction that they become the most useful skill set to meet the existing demands. So we have to make our managers or business analysts or our youth AI ready. Now, if we see the way management, if we see the way education has grown in all these years, so there was a time when IT sector came as a boom with this. So there was all kind of BTech institutes and BTechs which were coming up, and there were everybody was running after BTech, and they were very well placed, and they have been well placed in the Silicon Valley as well. Then there was a time when management education took a lead, and there were a lot of MBA institutes and core management institutes were flourishing and growing, and we had seen the management education. Now, as Professor Sehgal has emphasized, that it's going to be an interplay between management plus technology skills. And I would add to that, not only management plus technology skills we require, we also need people who are good in psychology or who also understand behavior of the human being. Because what these artificial intelligence can do, they just cannot be as good as in analyzing the behavior of people, or they cannot have the human emotions. So human intelligence cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence. So definitely we have to have that kind of skilled manpower which is good in IT, which is skilled in management processes, which is also skilled in understanding the behavior, because the kind of data which is being generated at all levels on by Google, by Twitter, by Facebook, by other social media platforms, it's all about human beings. It's all about what humans are thinking, what humans are doing. So we have to train our manpower in these three kinds of skills, and that would be a great course to launch by any management institute. Now, this also, makes us worry, because every day we are being scanned so much, and our lives are being, we are tracked throughout our day. Google, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon. So there are a lot of privacy concerns which have a major concern at this point of time in everybody's life. Beginning from the basic fingerprint which you put on your mobile, or the face recognition which we use for our mobile phones, our data is being recorded. So apart from that, Google will track you. What are you doing today? Where we are? What are we eating? Where we are investing? Our sleeping patterns are getting tracked. Our conversations are getting recorded. Our dreams, aspirations, our likes, dislikes, sentiments, thought processes, our purchase behavior, everything is being recorded. And that is the data which is being created. And that is the data which is going to be used by the management company, by different corporates for their advantage, to design products, to design solutions and services for the consumers. So right now we can't say that our lives are secret, or everybody at this point of time is like an open book, and internet is something which is deeply involved in everybody's life. So I would like to concentrate on what lies in the future of AI. AI has brought out a lot of positive impact on sustainability, climate change, and environmental issues, because a lot of our processes get automated, because of which we don't have to travel much. Like during this lockdown also, we could see that our lives could move on smoothly, we could survive and we could sustain because of the internet which was available. So a lot of environmental issues, and for climate change, there will be a positive impact of AI, because of people will have to travel less, and cities will become less crowded. But there are issues like, internet will, as already internet has brought in social aloofness. So with this digital societies which we are living in right now, we already have made humans aloof. And in times to come, with all these robots coming into our lives and this internet, artificial intelligence, let's say you don't have a personal assistant or secretary or people in your office whom you can talk to, you are just talking to artificially intelligent machines who are doing the work for you. So you are already socially aloof. And you can imagine that what challenges this social aloofness can bring in. We have all gone through this lockdown, where a lot of people who were feeling lonely, they have come up with mental issues, they have come up with depression and other such problems. So that is another challenge which AI is going to bring in. Let's say if AI is, humanity can come to a big existential threat, AI can bring in by these war robots if they are created. So that can and be another challenge. And another challenge which AI is going to come up with is that, if we have artificial intelligent machines or robots, whether they'll be having the ethics and emotions which human being has. We have to think about it. Now talking about what AI can do to, what can happen to the corporate managers who are working with companies, how they can move around. So my viewpoint on this, that corporates, because AI is going to be here and AI is going to stay with us, how corporate managers are, and they are going to make life simpler as well, because because anything which is a process that can be automated. So AI will be coming into that, and these technologies will take up that, and those kind of job roles will become redundant. So all the processes will become AI based. So managers have to look at that, the projects and the innovation. So they have to focus on innovation, and various projects would be the main focus area. Another important aspect on corporate sector to look at would be that, any corporate would be the market leader, whosoever is able to take the right decision, because data is with everyone. Everybody can analyze that data, how to take right decision, and who will quickly take the decision will get the first mover advantage. So that will make, the role of managers become more important. So every company should try to use data and take data as make data as to their advantage. Organizations should try to create an environment of curiosity, creativity, out of the box thinking to harness the power of AI in business. So the basic difference between human intelligence and artificial intelligence will always remain. Because the human, as we all know, that humans have emotions, mindfulness, empathy, humility, and the power of imagination. But B schools have to change, lesson for B schools can be that we have to think that we have to change the way people think. And AI in our lives is here to augment human intelligence, not replace it. That is for sure, as Professor Sehgal has also emphasized this point a lot. So retraining of workforce would be required, and organizations will have to focus on sustainable development. And these will be the aspects which will be the main focus area of corporate as well as B schools. A big responsibility, as I was talking about these aspects, is that, that whether the robots will have emotions or not. So there are a lot of lessons which we can learn from, as a B school we can learn for when we are launching a program in management and technology. The program which we should float for should have some courses on, if this slide is visible properly, then there should be courses on ethics, understanding human psychology and decision making and innovation and change, because these are going to be the areas where artificial intelligence would be lacking, or technology cannot replace human beings. And we need to see that the generation who's going to work at this point of time, we already are going through a crisis where we understand that humanity at this point of time, there is degrading moral values and human values. People have become self-centered, they are unempathetic, selfishness has increased, a lot of aggression, anger, low tolerance amongst human beings. We can see that the young generation is very materialistic, less humane, less social. Companies are nowadays adopting unethical practices, a lot of frauds happening around the world to earn more profit. There is social cultural degradation, which we can see in the media and TV channels and all those videos which are available. So just imagine that if there are experts in AI or experts in technology who can make these machines intelligent, so will they be able to, what will they be able to deliver to those machines? Only the kind of moral values, ethical standards, and their understanding of the human psychology, whatever they know. So we need to train our manpower, we need to train our students in these aspects as well at all levels of education, beginning from the school education to the higher education. These concepts become very, very important in the present context. So these are some suggested curriculum topics which I have identified for any such course which is to be launched on technology and management. Apart from the core courses, we should have some courses on ethical leadership, ethics and human values, understanding human psychology. There can be a subject on innovation and change, decision making, because decision making will become very important. Machines can do everything, but they cannot be as good at decision making as human beings are. Specifically for analytics, there can be courses related to predictive analytics for business intelligence, data analytics and visualization, cybersecurity, network analytics. R and Python can be, the students can be trained on R and Python. And these are some of the other courses which we can have a look later. Thank you very much for giving me time to share my views. Thank you very much.